Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. So last episode, we ended up making this NASA workbench, and that's all cool. It'll allow us to put together a rocket. There's a few things we need to do before we get to this point. One of those things is use a space emergency kit that we got from a reward from making the compressor, I think is what we got it from. Anyway, we right-click that. It gives us a few different things, so we can go to this tab and see that we have a red parachute, an oxygen mask, oxygen gear, some light oxygen tanks. It did give us a pickaxe and I guess the can of food, dehydrated potatoes, potion of healing, and night vision. So we got quite a few things from doing that, which is pretty cool. I think, yeah, we can see that we now have a face mask on. Okay. So that's some free stuff. I like it. That's less things for us to craft. We've been crafting a lot of things, so that's pretty good. So continuing on with our quest line here in galacticraft, we have a few quests that are available. We have an oxygen collector, which is pretty important. We need to fill up our oxygen tanks in order to breathe outside of our planet, right? There's a deconstructor. This is new to me. I don't remember ever seeing this before. And I was looking at this, and apparently this will take apart your old rockets. So it's not like you have to build the tier 1, and then you have to build all the tier 1 materials, and then build the tier 2 with those materials. Like, you can recover some of your parts. This is nice. Previous to this, yeah, we'd have to build like each separate tier of rocket and store each separate tier of rocket. That was one of like the big things that was annoying about galacticraft. I haven't tried this yet. Maybe it's still annoying, but at least we can recover some of our materials. We'll see how this works a little later. We have the quest to build our first rocket, and we also have a couple of quests here. One to fuel our rocket, and one to, I guess, get thermal padding so we don't freeze to death or take radiation exposure in space. So oxygen collector, this is probably the first one we should look at here. So we can go ahead and bookmark this. So this needs some compressed steel, oxygen vents, oxygen fans, all of these different things. Yeah, we're gonna have to build a bunch of recipes here. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't think, well, you know what? I was gonna say, I don't think we need to build a recipe for each of these machines, but let's just go ahead and do it. So there's the oxygen collector itself. We have compressed steel as a recipe. Oxygen vent is definitely something we're gonna need to know. Compressed tin. Yeah, we don't have a recipe for compressed tin, so this is going to need a recipe. That is the wrong one, this one, and the laser cutter. Okay, so if we come in here, we do compressed. I still need to rename our, what's it called? The interface over there, so it doesn't say reinforced item input. It needs to say laser cutter. I will do that soon. We might do that today, actually. Oxygen vent. So we have everything in here for the oxygen vent. So tin canister, we should make a recipe for that. That's a regular crafting recipe. All right, so that one's done. Oxygen fan. I believe we already have a recipe for the basic wafer. Those just take a little bit of time to craft up. Oxygen concentrator. So that's tin, steel, canister, oxygen vent. I don't think we made the laser cutter recipe for tin. Or did we? No, it's the aluminum we didn't make. So we already have the one for tin. We need to make one for aluminum. Okay. So back to this. Compressed all the way down to the bottom. This guy. Clear that out. Now we need to find some space for all this galacticraft stuff that we're going to have. All right, so I'll put machine here and I'll put the crafting components down below. Okay, so now that we have everything, can I make an oxygen collector? Is this something it'll allow me to do, or did I miss something? It looks like we have everything ready to go. So if I click start, are things just gonna happen? It looks like oh wow, that happened real fast. Okay, so things happen. That's good. Apparently we had extra basic wafers already crafted, so we didn't have to wait on that. Okay, very good. So we'll claim that up. Oxygen compressors. So this collects it, then we need to compress it into liquid oxygen. Oxygen compressor will load oxygen from internal storage into an oxygen tank. Oh, maybe that's what it's doing. Just taking it and putting it into the tank. Okay, well, that's fine. So compressed bronze, I think that's the only recipe we need to make here. So, oh, I didn't bookmark that. Let's go back in here. This, that. Okay, so back to this guy. Yeah, this is the recipe we need. So compressed bronze. And reinforced. I should have just searched for compressed again. Okay, so compressed bronze. We have that recipe. And then we need the processing pattern for the oxygen collector or compressor. Oxygen compressor. And all the way back down to our galacticraft section. There it is. Yeah, so oxygen compressor. Just one. Well, I guess the recipe for the compressor itself and then for bronze, but everything else, yeah, we have. Okay, so there is that recipe, or I guess that machine done. Cool. So quest complete for that one. Oxygen storage. What is oxygen storage? Stores oxygen for later use. Use to store large amounts of oxygen for later use. I'm not really sure why you want to do this. That seems expensive, actually. Let's clear out these other bookmarks. Heavy oxygen tank. That's red wool, tin canister, compressed. That's actually not that bad. We should just go ahead and make these. A recipe for that. I thought that the heavy oxygen tanks were going to be more expensive. Okay, so now that we have a recipe for that, let's make the heavy oxygen tank. We're gonna need a recipe for red wool. So you can do a single dye plus one wool or this, and this is probably the way we're gonna wanna do it. Okay, so we can do 8 at a time. I think that's all we need to do. Okay, so let's put those recipes. Oh no, we need to make the recipe for this one too, don't we? And I'm not sure if we have to do the substitution, so I'm going to do the substitution anyway. Okay, so we'll take that one back off. And then we got to go back down here and find our galacticraft section. All right, so another machine, oxygen storage module. We'll put the wool here and the heavy oxygen tank. So oxygen storage. Can we craft you? We don't have rose red. Poppies? We'll probably want to get ourselves, actually, rose red. Don't we have dye essence that can make this? Dye essence. Did we never make dye seeds? I know we made the Botania flowers. These right here. Maybe we should make the dye seeds and then just be able to craft all the different colored dyes whenever we want it. I think that's what we're going to do, actually. I know this is kind of a tangent. It seems kind of weird to do this right now, but yeah, I think we're going to do that. It's only a tier 2. I'm going to go ahead and craft this up. I'm sure we have a quest to do that, right? Let's go back into here, Delta tier 2. That would be these. And then dye seeds. Yeah, we have a quest for that. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. We'll 10 them, and we'll be right back. All right, so now we have dye essence, and I made a recipe to convert the dye essence into the rose red. As we saw before, 3 of those in a line, maybe 6 of these. We can also make ink sacs, purple dye, cyan, light gray, gray dye, pink, lime, dandelion, light blue, magenta, and orange. I don't understand why they made the dye essence do all of these, but you can't do green, for instance. I think there might be a few other colors. You can't do brown, like you can't do the cocoa beans, you can't do the cactus dye. I don't know. Anyway, those are the colors that we can do. So we'll just go ahead and start that recipe up, and that should be done relatively quickly like it was. Okay, very good. So now we have another quest complete. So yeah, we did our 10 dye seeds over here. So if we ever need large amounts of dye, we can always just farm those up. So that's pretty good. Okay, so now that we have that quest complete, let's go ahead. I guess we'll claim this one. We were at the Upsilon section. We'll claim that as well. Cool. So now fuel loader seems like a thing that we're going to need to do. Once we build a rocket, we're going to have to put fuel in it. So let's look at doing this guy. And that requires a diamond wafer. Clear out some of those things. Compressed bronze, tin canister, compressed steel. We have all of these. Diamond wafer is a thing that I don't think that we have a recipe for. So this is something new. So we will make a recipe for this one. So let's do processing pattern, diamond wafer, click that in there. Again, we're gonna get rid of this silicon and we're gonna replace it with this silicon. And I think that's all we need to do. And we also need to make a recipe for the redstone lamp. That's something we definitely don't have. And there we go. Okay, very good. So getting back to over here. So I don't remember what the name of the machine is. Let's do wafer circuit fabricator. That's the name of the machine. So I'll place that there, and then redstone lamp we just need to place somewhere in here. I guess I'll place it next to the galacticraft stuff since that's why we had to make it. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is make a fuel loader. Oh, did I not make the recipe for that? I guess I didn't. Back up here, fuel loader. Okay, and then back to the galacticraft section to put this in here. Okay, fuel loader. So now we should have everything complete, but we are gonna have to wait on the diamond wafers for sure. Let's come over here and make sure that's working properly. It should be, but let's just double check. Yep, looks like everything is working correctly here, and I don't think there's any way to speed this particular machine up. All right. So fuel loader is done. Very good. Okay, so that quest is complete. Large oxygen tank. So this wants us to have 2 heavy oxygen tanks. Well, we know how to do that. We already made those as part of a recipe before. We'll go ahead and craft up 2 more. That shouldn't take any time at all. Just gotta do some compressed steel and done. Okay, so 2 of those. All right, so Launchpad. That's also something we're gonna need. I think we need 9 of those in order to get going here. So that is blocks of iron and compressed iron. Compressed iron. We do not have a recipe for compressed iron. So that is our next step here. So there is that thing. And compressed all the way down to the bottom. We're filling up really fast here. All right, so compressed iron, and then we need iron blocks. Block of iron. We have those on auto craft, but those do take just a few moments to be crafted using the factorizer. All right, now we're done. Compressed iron. 3 of those. And done. Cool, so there is our launch pad. Quest complete? Yes. Sometimes it takes a moment. Makes me wonder if I did something wrong or if I missed something. Okay, I think the next one, let's do thermal padding. This makes the most sense for us to do right now. So we need thermal padding. We'll bookmark all of these. And each one of those requires this thermal cloth. I don't think there's anything else it requires. Okay, so we need 24 thermal cloth. New recipe for this. Okay, and then oxygen vent, or oxygen concentrator. I guess oxygen vent works too for finding the galacticraft section. So thermal cloth, we want 24 of those, and we can do that easy. All right, so we want the helmet, we want the chest plate, we want the legs and the feet. Okay, so now we should have everything, and that quest is complete. So we can put that stuff on. Kind of gives us a little bit of a different look on our skin, but at least it's kind of cool that you can tell that you have it on, I suppose. Okay, so we have thermal padding installed. That gets claimed. So we have unlocked the next one. I don't know, what is this? This is tier 2, isothermal fabric. So that requires dash, and you get dash on Mars, I believe. So we won't be able to do that for a little bit. Okay, I think the next quest is to the moon, our tier 1 rocket. So we need to make all of these different parts. So we need a nose cone, rocket fin, tier 1 engine, and heavy duty plate. Let's go ahead and get rid of these other bookmarks here that we no longer need. Okay, very good. All right, so next step is to make recipes for all of these different components. Heavy duty plates is the most important, and that does require a compressor. Okay, so there is no way around this. And I think we want to do the electric compressor for that. Okay, compressor. Do I have it in my inventory? I'm not actually sure. Electric compressor right here. Okay, so we have that guy. Yeah, so the heavy duty plates, it's too bad they did not do a modular machine for this particular item, because I know these go really slow. But again, since we can deconstruct, I guess it'll be okay. We'll see how this all turns out. So we have compressed bronze, aluminum, and steel. These are all done, so making this recipe should be fairly straightforward. Let's go and do that right now. So that's a recipe that goes into the compressor. We'll have to automate that here soon. So getting back to these other things like a rocket engine. So we need that. The rocket engine requires a flint and steel, which I'm sure we don't have a recipe for. It also requires a button. Anything else that we need in here specialized? Tin canister, oxygen vent. No, I think that's it. Okay, so the rocket fins require compressed steel in that. So that's easy enough once we learn how to do this. And then the nose cone is that. Okay, pretty sure we already have redstone. Ooh, fingers on the right key. Redstone torch. Yeah, we already have that learned. Okay, so we can put all those recipes into here, and then we got to go automate the compressor. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do a new row here for these different things. Maybe we will keep these components together and put like the vanilla ones down here or something. Okay, so these are all the different components that we needed, and then the electric compressor. So the galacticraft stuff, as we've seen before, is kind of weird. You have to power it from the side, you have to extract from the bottom, and then you can put in items from the top. Now, I forget with the electric compressor, if it like is smart enough to know how those items go in so you can automate it. I feel like I've automated it before. In fact, I know I have, but I don't remember how it all works. So on this side, I don't know. Did I place that wrong? Yeah, okay, so the power comes in right there. So we will definitely need a conduit coming into there for power. And we can just connect it along like that to this power supply, and then that's going to be set to insert. So this should have power, okay? And then we are going to need a interface on top. All right, and that interface obviously is going to need to talk to this interface, so we can either do an ME conduit or a Ender IO conduit. I think we'll do this. All right. So we have that all connected. So if we put this recipe in here, aside from extracting out of the bottom of this machine, let's go back here one second. Let me look at this. So we're extracting out of the bottom of that. That's going up into this interface. We can just do an item conduit and use the same one. It'll go into the back of this interface over here. That'll be fine. So item conduit. 2 of those. And then we just need to extract out of this one, always active. I think that's it. I think we are automated at this point. Right? Let's try doing heavy duty plate. So we'll start that up. And is that okay? Put the items in and it looks like they went to the right spot. This thing is crafting. Is it going to extract and complete the recipe? That's the only other thing that we need to look at. So it extracted. Is the recipe complete? It is. Awesome. Okay, so at this point, I can go back to the tier 1 rocket. Oh, I wanted to bookmark this. I can't bookmark that. I'm trying to bookmark it so I can save the recipe so I know all the stuff that we need. All right, so getting back to this. We need 4 rocket fins. So let's queue that up. 4 of those. We need a rocket engine. 1 of these. We need a nose cone. And we need 8 heavy-duty plates. Okay, so everything should be crafting exactly as we need it. That was pretty easy to automate, actually. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's wait for this auto crafting to complete, and then we'll look at putting together our rocket. Cool, so we have all the components ready to go for the rocket. I think we should place down our launch pad now. It's a 3x3. There we go. We're gonna need the fuel loader on here. I think you just do it like that. Yeah, the green is power in, and I believe that has to face... Actually, I'm not sure now. Is that the way, or do we do it this way? I thought I'd like put a little thing here to show that it was connected. Maybe I did have this right before this way. Yeah, I think it might be fine that way. I don't know. Anyway, so we have the fuel loader here. This is gonna need power, so we're gonna need a spectry coil. I don't think that requires a lot of power. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Okay, so we have our rocket launching pad, our fuel loader. We need our NASA workbench down so we can put together our rocket. So we can put those in here, that, and there it is, tier 1 rocket. You can put chests if you want extra storage, but since we have access to our applied energistics from any dimension, it doesn't matter. So we'll just do this. Oh. I like it. It like forces you to be crouched when you're holding this thing. That's kind of funny. I like it. Anyway, let's come over here. We'll place that guy right there. Cool. So there it is. We have ourselves our rocket. It still needs fuel, and we still need to collect oxygen and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, we got ourselves our rocket, which is pretty good. So oxygen collector will store oxygen collected from leaves in the surrounding area. Well, it just so happens that we have leaves in the surrounding area. I don't know how close they have to be. Like, if I place this oxygen collector here, is it going to collect from all of these leaves up here, or does this have to be closer? I guess we'll have to find that out. This also needs power, so let's make another spectry coil. And I mean, it's storing oxygen, so it seems to be working. Okay, I like it. And then we need the oxygen compressor, so that needs to put oxygen into here. Yeah, I think we do the same thing. So, so another spectry coil. All right, so that's got power. So then we just got to loop the oxygen around it into here. So let's grab the galacticraft pipes. I think it automatically pushes into these pipes. Yeah, it seems to. Okay, so the oxygen compressor has oxygen in it. It has this. We need to put in our canisters. Cool, and that is filling up. So are we still producing more oxygen than we are using? It looks like it. It looks like everything is set up correctly here. So we are now able to charge up our heavy oxygen tanks. It probably makes sense for us to have more than just 2 of these in case we want to spend a lot of time off planet. I'll probably end up making a few of those and have them for a reserve. I think that makes sense to do. So besides that, we need the refinery so we can make the fuel for the rocket. Unless we can use some of the other stuff that we have collected over here. I'm not sure what all fuel we can put into our rocket, but I do know way over here we converted oil into a bunch of things. We have LPG, we have fuel. Is this the fuel that we need? I'm not actually sure. We have kerosene and we have diesel. I feel like this fuel will work for the galacticraft stuff, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's try grabbing like a bucket of that and see what happens. Yeah, bucket. We'll grab a bucket. We'll see if we can start fueling our rocket with that. It'd be really nice if we can do that, but again, I'm not sure if we can. So if I put that here, hey, that goes right in there. This is stop looting. Is it actually looting that fuel? Load fuel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going in there, it looks like. I think. It seemed to have gone down a little bit. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we definitely can use that fuel. That's really good. So the next thing is we need to grab a bunch of that, put it over onto the loader so we don't have to keep going back and forth one bucket at a time. Probably a portable tank would work, something like this. And then we want translocators. All right, so yeah, this is the fuel one. I was looking at that tooltip. It says currently harvestable and all this stuff. I was trying to find where it said the item on there. Okay, so we have the translocator, the portable tank. Let's grab a whole bunch of... Ooh, that's laggy for some reason. Ooh, that's real laggy. Down to 24 FPS. Why is that so laggy? I guess the translocators working with the gargantuan drums aren't a good combination for some reason. I don't know. Whew. Get rid of that. Okay, so now back over here, we can put the portable tank right on top of our fuel loader, I am pretty sure, and then we just wrench it. Does that go in there? Doesn't look like it, so we might have to do something else. Oh, you know what? Maybe I do have this orientated incorrectly. Is that the spot where you put the fuel in? Maybe it is. Okay, I'm gonna play around with this for just a second. I'll be right back. So sure enough, I have this thing facing the wrong way. You can put fuel into that dot. I thought that dot had to be facing towards the launch pad or the rocket, but no, that is not correct. So yeah, we're able to keep this full from the fuel in the portable tank. Okay, so I set up a small little automation here so we can fill up some oxygen tanks, and this seems to be working pretty well. I don't know if it's gonna break or whatever, but we're able to extract heavy oxygen tanks from the chest above, put it in here and extract the full ones out of the side, and it seems to only extract the full ones once they're completely full, so I assume there's some kind of smartness going in here, like it won't allow you to put a full oxygen tank in, and it won't allow you to extract a partially full one. I don't know. This is what it seems like, since this is set to always active when we're extracting and only allows it to be extracted once it's full. It seems like things are working correctly here. So we have a few oxygen tanks. I can go and put the other one on my back. So now we have completely full 2 heavy oxygen tanks. We still don't have this guy or this guy. I'm not sure if we need those or not. This is the... That is the... I think it's called like a scanner? No, it's not called scanner. Radar? I can't remember. I know one of those pieces you get out of a dungeon, or at least you get the component to know how to do it. I'm kind of looking through here, the different items, to see if something jumps out at me. So this is a shield controller. Is that what goes here? Maybe. That has no crafting recipe. A radio isotope core. That has no crafting recipe either. Okay, that looked like something fun to play with. Anything else in here though? Fluid manipulator. What is that? Galacticraft planets. I don't even know what that does. It looks like that's a crafting component for something. Anything else? Anything else? I'm not sure if we need those or not. So there is a regular parachute. We have the red one. Not sure that makes a difference at all. There's a buggy wheel. Well, yeah, nothing's jumping out at me. I think this is all we need to go to a planet. So how are we doing? I'm going to take a few of these oxygen tanks with us just in case. I think we should be about ready to get out of here. Now, one final thing I would like to do before we do depart is make a couple of dislocators. We never made recipes for that. Dislocator. Can we make this one yet? No, we can't. We have to get into Draconic Evolution. Yeah, that's stuff we have. Oh, maybe we have made this advanced circuit. Anyway, let's make these dislocators, and that requires Eyes of Ender. That way we can warp to and from the moon without having to use the rocket. Oh, what was that? That was the sugar rod thing, wasn't it? Sugar infused tool rod. We don't have a recipe for that. So I don't remember how this thing is made. Let's figure that one out real quick. Sugar infused core. So that's 1 diamond sugar hardened. Let's make a few of those so we don't have to do this again anytime soon. All right. And now we should be able to make 1 more dislocator. Cool. Okay, so we want 1 of these set here. Go and do like that. Okay, so that's where we're going to warp back to. And then we also need 2 dislocator pedestals. These guys. So that is 2 stone pressure plates we are missing. All right. So now that we have all of this stuff, I think we are good to go to get to the moon. Yeah, we have our oxygen mask, oxygen gear, parachute, oxygen. We have a thermal padding. Oh, there's always something that I feel like I'm forgetting here, but I'm not sure that we're forgetting anything. All right, let's go. Let's do it. I'm going to right click it. Oh, I right clicked it with the bag and that did a weird thing. Yeah, so we're inside our rocket, space to launch. Did I forget something? Did I leave the oven on? Oh boy. Maybe I should have used the restroom before I got in this rocket. I think it's a little too late to turn back though. Pretty sure it's a little too late to turn back. And why on the rocket icon on the left-hand side is that a picture of Alex? Did they just assume my skin was Alex? Oh boy. Okay, so once we get out of the atmosphere, we get this map. So I think our first stop is we want to go to the moon. So we have to click Overworld Moon. Pretty sure that's our first stop. Then we find a dungeon on the moon to get the tier 2 rocket to go to Mars. Can I hit escape? Or no, do I click here? Oh, that's not what I want to do. Overworld, new galaxies. Ooh, this looks kind of fancy actually, how this all moves around. I think this might be new. I'm not entirely sure. So if I wanted to go to Mars, yeah, that says that's a tier 2. So we definitely need to find the tier 2 rocket. So back to Overworld Moon. Let's click it. Oh, Overworld Moon. Oh, so now that we have the selector, we have to click launch. That's right. Okay, so prepare for entry. Warning, hold space to slow down. We are at Y 500, 400. Okay, I'm holding space now. We're going a little too fast, I think. Entry velocity minus 10 meters per second. Okay, so we're not gonna die, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, we slowed down a lot more. We're 1.5 meters per second. And we're landed? Awesome. Okay, so we are here on the moon. Everything's fine. I think it is now time that we put our dislocator down. And this one, that's back to the overworld. I'll probably need a frequency module if I want to hear properly. Okay, so is everything just muffled without the frequency module? Is that the deal? Okay, so here is a way to get to our dim moon.moon. All right, I think we can destroy this. Take our launch pad and our rocket out of there. There's a little bit of fuel if we wanted that, but honestly, I don't think we need that. Cool. So we have creative flight, so we can fly around a lot easier. I do see a wither skeleton over here, which is scary. Now, in the past, you were able to fly around and find a dungeon, and then that single dungeon would be in the same place on every single planet, but it is not that way anymore. Every single planet, from my understanding, has its own unique placement for dungeons, and they're all just randomized. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to mark down where our ship is so we can go back and click the warp thing, huh? Let's go back over here. I've already lost it. Where is it? I can always do the /home command. Oh, here it is. Found it. Hey, look, my footsteps are still there. All right, yeah, let's put a waypoint here. New. Portal, exit. Let's do exit, save, close. Okay, so now we know where that is, and we have a frame of reference for how far out we have gone. Is that diamond? What is that? Mana infused ore. Okay, so there's a lot of different ores here on the moon. So yeah, I'm just kind of flying around. I'm looking at the mini map a little bit, trying to see if we can find a dungeon. I guess I'm just gonna go explore off camera unless I find something interesting. And actually, just about 15 seconds later, I think I found ourselves our dungeon here. So let's go down into the dungeon. Okay, we need a carrot. There we go. Ooh. I don't remember the spiders always move that fast. I guess they probably did. Yeah, we'll just go ahead. Oop. We'll just go ahead and get rid of all these spawners. All right. Yeah, it is kind of weird that the sounds are so quiet, but it did say that we needed a frequency module in order to hear properly here. Oh boy. Lunar sapphire. I'm not sure if we need those, and cheese I will take. These other things I'm just not too concerned about. All right, well, we found the dungeon. Get off me. Oh, I killed him. That's weird that the boss makes a sound that loud, but everything else is like super quiet, huh? Alright, so the bosses on these dungeons really are not that difficult. So tier 1 dungeon key, and we got ourselves a moon buggy. That's not what we're looking for. Hey, a frequency module. That is a thing that we're looking for, though. Okay, so we had the frequency module. Cheese curds, blah. Okay, well, I gotta keep doing this a few more times, and well, at least one more time, but possibly a few more times, until that we find ourselves the tier 2 schematic. Yep, that's what we're looking for. We'll probably have to come back next time, though, because we're out of time for today. Guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.